All right, come on in the room, ladies and gentlemen. Come on in the room. Yes, so I am R Deon Butler. Come on in, come on in. We'll wait for you. We want to make sure that you guys are in tune to our live. This is Need a Word. So I am Rashawn R Deon Butler. And so, what I want to do is I want to kind of give you an idea of what's happening, what you're getting ready to experience is something a little different, something that you probably have not seen before. And what we're doing is we're coming together to give a word. I need a word. You need a word. I know you guys have been to a place in your life to where you're like, man, if I just had a word, just one word that would help me get over. Right. And so that's what we came together to form this amazing thing, a series of content where you're going to be able to get at least weekly word of the days where we're going to just encourage you. You're going to have these live videos as you see here, where we're going to again be able to get creative in being able to speak to certain things that you might be dealing with. So we're super excited to bring you this content. So I'm going to pass it over to my brother there on my right. Who you be, man? What's going on, man? Tell people who you are.
What's up, people? Good to see y'all again. It's your man, J.D. Auguste, author and co-author of The Heart of Sales. But really, we're just here to, again, share a word with you. So during this segment here, what we're doing is playing the game WordPlay, but it's not a game. All right, so let me tell you how WordPlay is going to work. So we have me and my brother, R Deon Butler, okay? We got a random word generator, okay? When I say random, this word, we don't know what word is going to come. R Deon Butler is going to simply click on a button and a random word is going to appear on the screen. Now, what we're going to do is take that word and to breathe life into it. The same way that the Lord breathes life into the words and the word, we're going to breathe life into the word because that's what we're created to do. So we're going to bring you a word that's fresh, and just using our minds, using our spirits, being in one accord to really encourage you, because we know this year of 2020 has been crazy. It's been crazy, and who don't need a word? We all need a word. So it's kind of fun. We're gonna take these words, we're gonna break them down, we're gonna look at the different definitions, and this is participatory. So please leave a comment. Let us know if it's your word. Just hashtag my word down the thing in the chat box. We're going to do 3 rounds of this, 3 rounds of random words that we're going to go in and break them down and see what we come up with. So, we got to be ready. Now, the 4th round, we're going to call that the bonus round, right? If the word random generator wasn't enough, we're going to let you choose the word. So if you're viewing in the 4th round or even throughout this segment, drop a word. If you think that, you want to see what we can do with that word, drop a word, and then we will pull a word, put it on the screen. And for the 4th round, we're going to use that bonus word to share with you. So that's how WordPlay works every and each Sunday, 11:30 a.m. right here on Need a Word. Back to you, my brother.
All right. So appreciate that. So again, so what we want you to do now is to share the broadcast. You know someone that needs a word. Even if you know you need the word, don't be selfish. Share it. Share with those that you know will need a word. This is a very, very creative way of us bringing a word to you. I know you guys, it's Sunday. You probably already started getting your word this morning, but we're going to give you some additional ones to use as well. So please make sure that you go ahead and like the page and share it so we can, bring this content to you every week. So without further ado, I know we've already kind of set the expectation. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves, but it's not really ourselves. We're being led, right? So we're just going to flow, and what happens, we'll see when we get there. So without further ado, JD, are you ready, my brother?
I am ready. I mean, comments are already coming in, so we already have a word for the bonus round. So we're gonna use that first one, but we'll wait for that. So you have to wait around for the bonus round to see how we use your word, or you can present another one. But we're definitely ready. Let's go ahead and hit this generator and see what we come up with.
All right, so here we go. Let's get this thing started.
Let's get cooking.
Boom. As promised, there it is. And this is random. So again, and for us to be able to see the word, I have to then click on new word. So I'm gonna click on new word, and again, as you see it, we're gonna see it. And so without further ado, get your stretching in, stretch your mind, your brain. We're getting ready to have some fun, guys. I'm super excited.
Yeah.
So without further ado, I'm gonna hit it and let's see what happens. Here we go. New word. Circle. Wow. Circle. Circle. So JD, I mean, I can take this, you can take it. How you want to do this, man?
I like how you start things off. I'm gonna let you take it. I like how you start things off.
All right, circle. So that's the word of that circle. So when you look at a circle, I look at even what we're doing now is coming around full circle. Jada and I, we met years ago doing door-to-door sales. Our ability to speak, our ability to sell linked us together and formed a friendship, a brotherhood that has lasted for years. And I just see us being able, again, we partner, we start a business together, and we're co-authored a book together. Now we're bringing you content together, coming around full a circle. And the thing about the circle is that it's a continuous movement, right? Unlike other shapes where there's a, you think of a square, you have a start, you know, and you have an end to that particular shape. The circle, however, is continuous. So there's a continuous movement that happens whenever I think of the word circle. There's no stopping in that. It continues on and on. There's no stopping. You don't know where it starts and you don't know where it ends. No. And I can equate that to even God, right? We don't know, again, God, where he starts, where he ends, because he has no beginning. He has no ending. He's infinity, times infinity, times infinity. He's an infinite God who provides us with resources, provides us with all of our needs. So some of you may be in a position where you feel like you are going in circles and going around in circles and not knowing which way is up. We want to breathe some life into you. We want to encourage you to understand that even though you may feel like you are in a circle, again, a God is right there in the middle. And if you realize what a circle is with a dot in the middle, that's a target. That's a bullseye. So you might be just exactly where you're supposed to be, right there in the center. But go ahead. What do you say to that,
Come on, man. That's a way to
give too much, but I'm gonna let you breathe some life into this.
That's right. That is definitely a way to breathe some life into and to start this broadcast. Hey, listen, as he said, many years, and this has all come full circle. I won't go back into what he said, but to kind of build on top of that, because of that relationship and because it's been streamless, in one accord, going in the same direction. A circle, remember, was how they created the wheel. So there's motion, and because of that, we've been able to progress in life and progress in our as men, progress in our spirituality because of the motion of the circle. What's the motion of your circle? See, when we talk about the word circle, we talk about the people that you surround yourself with. And that's what's really been a big blessing to both of us, is that we put the right people in our circle. So sometimes some of you right now, you feel that you've been held back, or you feel that you could have been further in life. Well, could it be that you had the wrong people in your circle? Right? Could it be that you had the wrong people in your circle? Because you want to make sure that you're in agreement, that you're walking and that you're moving into motion. Sometimes when someone leaves or they don't continue with you, you have to be able to keep moving forward. A lot of us, we're looking in the past, we're looking at who left. But what you need to do is look at who's God is putting in your circle. Who is God is putting in your circle, and who have you put in your circle? Make sure a couple of things are right, that your circle is in motion. Your circle has movement, that your circle is streamlined, right? There's a synergy. There is a there is a common mind coming together. And that, you know, as my brother said, you put a dot in the middle, make sure that your circle has a target. Do you have goals? You see a lot of relationship goals and squad goals. Well, what's your squad's goals? Is it just to dress up on the weekend and on birthdays to have fun? That's all cool. I love to do it. You know, we like to dress. We call my brother Blue Cheese because he liked dressing, right? So there's nothing wrong with that, but that can't be all that there is to your squad goals. You know, where do y'all want to be in the world? What degrees do y'all want to attain? What things do you want to accomplish together? What's going on in your circle?
Wow, I love that. And I just want to add to that. When we talk about your circle, we talked about the circle, we talk about the dot in the middle. I'm also reminded of your eyes. Think about when you used to draw a picture. And whenever you would draw a picture of someone's eyes, you would draw the circle, then you would draw a one right there in the middle. So even in your circle, we're talking about vision. We're talking about how you see yourselves, or even your circle of influences, those people who are around you. And what are the things that you guys are discussing? What are you looking at? What are some of the things that you have forecasted in with your circle, your friends, your peers, your relative, those that's within your sphere, right, of influences? And so wanting just to kind of get that in your forefront of your imagination, the canvas of your imagination, is that, again, what is it that you're looking at? What is their target? What is some things that you need to continue on doing, right? And what are some things that you need to put into motion? Because the vehicles, I look at the wheel of the vehicle is considered a circle, but if that vehicle is not in movement, it's not in motion, the vehicle isn't going anywhere. So are you utilizing your circle? Are you moving, or are you stagnant? Are you stationary, right? So these are all some of the things that we can continue on to talk about as it pertains to a circle. But we're going to go ahead and continue on. You got something else you want to add to that before we?
Something, man. Holy Spirit dropped something on me based on that. Someone needs this word. The reason why you're doing all of this is because you need to forecast. You need to forecast what's coming on in life. No one forecast what happened here in 2020. And it's very tough. Now we need to forecast moving forward for 2021. And as you said, that when you were small, you would draw an I and you would put a dot in the middle. And I heard forecast and I heard I, and I'm in Florida and I think a hurricane. The reason why you have a forecast is to be prepared for the storm. You got to be prepared for the storm. See, the circle or the middle of the storm is called the eye of the storm.
Come on.
Right? Come on. What's your forecast? How prepared are you for a storm? It deals with your circle. It deals with the forecast that you have. Because whether we like it or whether we not, life, as it's shown us very vividly in 2020, is going to hit you with some storms. It's going to be surprises. So your circle is very important. Your forecast is very important. But don't worry, even if you're in the eye of the storm, it's sometimes the most peaceful place in the storm. And it allows you to be quiet, to take a look at the circle around you, to make adjustments, and to get through the storm. You will get through this storm. You will get through this storm. If your budget is tight, don't worry. You'll get through this storm. You don't have to wait on a stimulus package. You know, we don't have to keep going back and forth about Trump and Biden. Yeah, we're going to talk about it all. You know, you don't have to worry. I promise you, if you trust in God, you will get through this storm. Just make sure next year you got the right meteorologist and the right people around you for your forecast. That's circle.
Oh man, come on. And just I want to add just one more thing. Can I just one more? Add one more, because we're talking about a forecast. We're talking about the people in your circle, but you know the expression, you want to keep your circle tight, right? So you know, think about it from that perspective of keeping your circle tight, keeping your circle to where it's not wide, to where everyone is in your circle and you're sharing things with everyone. Everyone is not privy to hear the things that you're going to do. Everyone is not privy to see some of the things that God has placed in your heart there. So you want to make sure that whatever it is that you are doing, that you want to keep your circle tight. You want to keep it to where you understand who is in your circle. I'm reminded of Jesus. And he had 12 disciples, but he had an inner circle. He had 3 inner people who he trusted and he divulged information with, that everyone was not necessarily privy to that, even though they were around him, another circle, but they were not as privy as some, because God in Jesus in the flesh kept a small circle.
Yeah.
Right? So I want to throw that on there as well.
Yeah,
Just
so
kind of button up.
yeah, so share this video, but don't share all your information on Facebook. We got to keep rolling. Let's keep rolling.
Come on. All right. So let's go for a new word. Kenneth, I see you there in there. So while we're the center of the circle, everything around it becomes like kinetic energy. Kinetic energy. I love that. We have kinetic and we have potential energy. Some of you guys know it. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there. But I'm going to go ahead and give us another word.
Let's go.
To start off with. Here we go. Here we go. New word. New word.
Next. Owl.
Owl.
You can't plan this stuff, guy. It's only fair. You started off the last one. I got nothing, and I'm going to start off this one anyways, right? That's what we do here at WordPlay. So owl. Obviously, an owl is a bird that watches, right? It is a nocturnal, I believe is the proper term, a bird that is more in the nighttime. You don't see them in the daytime for the most part. These are protected species. And everyone knows them for probably two main things. They've got big eyes and they watch, and they always say, whoo, whoo, whoo. So, I mean, who are you watching?
Come on now. Come on. Did you just connect that?
That's all I got, man. Who are you watching? Who are you watching? You know what? The word tells us that our ear gates and our eye gates, the things that we allow into our eyes and our mind, it impacts who we are. So who are you watching? Are you only watching politics? Are you only watching sports? Are you only watching not just TV? Are you only watching the trouble that's around you? Are you only able to perceive the things that are going wrong? Are you only able to perceive the things that are wrong about you? Have you seen your goodness? Have you seen how beautifully and wonderfully you've been made? Who are you watching? Wow. I'm just curious. That's how I see an owl, right? And they do it at nighttime, which is important because that means that they have night vision, being able to see in an area of darkness where there's not a lot of light. I think it's fair to say that a lot of people have kind of coincided 2020 with a very dark year in a sense. So if you have night vision, it really doesn't matter because for night vision, you kind of create your own light. So that way you're able to see what you need to see, right? So I would just encourage you from that. What I have there is, who are you watching? Make sure that you are watching. Your eyes are on the Lord, number one, because if you can see Him, then you can see all things in a better light, and then that night vision will allow you to see your way. So that's what I got, brother. What are you thinking?
Who are you watching, man? How do you make that connection there? But I got something as well. I want to add to that. Okay, when I think of owl, first thing comes to mind. You remember the Wise potato chips?
Oh yeah.
Wise potato chips. Their symbol is an owl. If you remember, the owl is significant with wisdom. Potato chip is called wise. We're talking wisdom. The owl is symbolic of wisdom. So even in what you're watching is the wisdom that you need in order to decipher what it is that you're looking at. Being able, I love that you said something about night vision, because even in the darkest times, we need wisdom. Like if any man lacks wisdom, the Bible says, like, let him ask of the Lord. And wisdom is the principal thing. And so even during these dark times, in that you may be watching things, being mindful of what is it that you're watching. What is it that you're watching late at night? What is it that you're focusing on? What is it that you're turning your head around? Because remember, the owl can turn their head almost all the way around because they're constantly looking at everything that's going on. They're going from to and fro. They're watching everything that is around them. But again, you want to be able to use wisdom in determining what are things you need to focus on and what are some of the things that you need to turn away from.
Good.
What are some things that you need to turn away from? Because see, sometimes there are things that you're looking at that maybe, like the owl, I need to turn my head. I'm not going to entertain that comment there on Facebook, right? I need to turn my head because I'm not going to watch that promiscuous video there of those women showing all of their prized possessions. I'm going to turn my head to the negativity that could be in my life, right? I'm going to turn my head to those things that I don't need to focus on, because what I'm doing right now as I'm speaking with you, I'm focusing on you.
Yeah.
I'm focusing, my eyes are open to what I'm watching. But some things you need to be able to have the wisdom to determine. You can't be focused on those things. You may have to turn your head. You may have to look the other way, because there's some things that could be damaging to you. There's some things that, because the Bible also says, because you made mention of the night vision, and the Bible also says that things that happen in the dark will come to light.
Yeah.
So even though I may not know what you're watching, God sees.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I may not know what it is that you are focusing on, God does. And what happens in the dark will abound to come to light. So just be mindful of those things that you're watching, that you're focusing on, but using the wisdom. If any man lacks wisdom, you ask of God.
Yeah.
And God will give you the wisdom to determine the things you need to focus on, and the things that you need to turn your head to.
Come on, turn your head. Turn your head. Hashtag turn your head. Very good, man. I love it. And I have to build on that if I can. I have to. Just to kind of clarify for some folks, not only when the word says that what happens in the dark will come to light, it's not only talking about exclusively external situations coming from being done in secret to being done in the open. That is also, it is referring to that, but not only, it also refers to the things that are done internally, the things that are thought of internally, coming out and expressing themselves and being manifested. So you may not have done anything in secret, but as my brother talked about, the things that we are focusing on, the things that we are doing in secret and watching in secret and thinking in secret, at some point it manifests itself in your character. So that's why you have to be very mindful of that. But I love the owl, the wise chips. Yo, where did that come from, man? And I gotta say, why? Where do we get the wisdom from? Where do we get this wisdom from? Where do we get the ability to turn our head from things that are trying to attract our attention? Well, one thing that you know about the owl is that the owl is a predator that always keeps its eye looking for other predators, but primarily it looks for prey. Where do you get the wisdom? Pray.
Come on, bro.
Where do you get the direction? Pray.
Wow.
What to look at? Pray.
Wow.
Right? You gotta pray. Pray. We gotta pray just like the owl does, right? And be proactive about it. The owl, it'll swoop down, it'll grab its prey, and once that thing is in its claws, that's it. And that's the same thing you can do in this prayer. When you pray, you can go and you can grab that which you need. You can grab that deliverance you need. You can grab the wisdom you need, the vision you need to be able to accomplish that which you need to accomplish. With so much things trying to take your attention, pray.
Wow. I'm not even gonna come behind that, bro. Like, I mean, wow. Again, if you guys have not shared this broadcast, you're being selfish right about now. You're being selfish. This is fresh word. Again, this is not rehearsed. This has not been premeditated. This is all straight from the source, right? And we're giving it to you live and direct. But what a way to cap off owl. Like, who would have thought we would have been able to extrapolate all of that from the word owl?
From the word owl.
So
before we get to the third round, and then of course our bonus round, which we have a word from Kenneth Clark. We appreciate that. If you're watching this after the fact, just join us back. You got to catch us live. It's nothing like being on live. We are here Sunday morning, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Share it with your friends. Someone needs a word. If you're blessed by it, even when you watch this video, hashtag my word, and then meet us for next Sunday. We'll still be here.
Absolutely. So I mean, we're cooking up some stuff here. We're preparing. Some of you guys haven't had breakfast yet. But we're definitely giving you some food for thought. I'm telling you, this has been really good. Notice the wordplay here. I'm gonna constantly throw it out. That's what we do. right?
Yeah.
You know, so just be mindful and understand that you catch them all because they're going to get thrown. Please
Yeah.
believe that. Just don't drop the word. But I have one other word here that we're getting ready to share. Man, we've been on fire. We're talking about, you know, the circle. Now we're talking about the owl. First letter in owl is O, right?
Yeah.
How do you draw that?
With a circle. With
See,
a circle.
that just happened. That just happened right there.
You know what's so funny? Look at Kenneth Clark's comment, and I was just thinking, I was like, Kenneth Clark wants to go back to the first word circle. He's like, no, we're not done with that, right? And here you are in the same thing. You guys are kind of in synergy there. So Kenneth Clark says, well, that goes back to your first word circle. Even visual influence can affect you because you've included it in your circle. That's correct, and you're correct. It's better to look the other way because Jesus is and said, if your eye causes you to sin, pluck it out. So all things being connected, I'm glad you caught that connection, and you as well, my brother.
Oh yeah, man. All right, man. You want to go 3 for 3? I mean, again, I think personally we kind of, you know, hit the ball on the first two.
Yeah.
So let's see what this next one is. I'm anticipating what it could be because I don't know, but let's find out together. Here we go.
Can't make this stuff up, people. Wow. Ice cream cone.
Wow.
All right.
So I'm gonna go ahead and take this. Since you took the last one, let me take this. Ice cream cone. I remember as a kid, there was this ice cream parlor in South Florida. Man, I cannot remember the name. Dave, you probably heard of it too if I were to say it. Can't remember. Very popular ice cream parlor that we would go to as kids.
Hollywood, right? Because you were in Hollywood.
Yeah, but I don't know if this was in Hollywood. This could have been in either Dania.
That's the only one that comes to mind. Jackson's.
That's what it is. Boom.
Yeah, they've been around for a while.
There you go. That one right there.
Mm-hmm.
We would always go there as a kid, and I would love to. We would go, and ice cream's the best, obviously. I mean, JD, he knows what it is. And I would always go, and I would always like to get the ice cream cone. And I would like to get the waffle cone. Mm-hmm. And they put the ice cream in the cone, and ice cream is good, but it has another kind of element when it's in a cone. For me, it's like I can have it by itself, but when it's in a cone, it just takes it to another level for me. And I look at the ice cream cone as that thing that gets deposited into, right? It's the ice cream that's being put inside of the cone. It is something to hold the ice cream. It is also something that is there in the event that the ice cream was to melt. Is actually there to capture some of that residue, some of the things that are coming from that ice cream. Yeah. So if I were to kind of put it back around to where we are, I look at ourselves, our bodies, as being a vessel that God pours into. He's being able to, you know, scoop up, you know, some things to pour into us because we are that cone. We are the thing that God dwells in. Yeah. And so I'm reminded of that ability to be filled. I'm reminded of the song where it says, fill me up. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Fill me up, because I remember even in that ice cream cone, I liked for it to be filled up all the way to the top. Another thing about the ice cream cone itself is that it allows what's been poured out, it gives it stability. Yeah. It gives it stability so that it's not running over or going everywhere, but it's housed into something that gives stability. It's housed into something where it allows it to, I guess, elevate, right? Because you can have 3 scoops of ice cream, but once you place those 3 scoops in your cone, it elevates it and makes it even bigger than it actually is. The cone kind of propels that. So just kind of bringing that back around to where we are. And I feel like some things that God deposits within us to help and propel us, right? To fill us up with more than we thought that we could handle. Yeah. And so that's my initial thought. I'm gonna come back around, but what are you thinking so far?
Yeah, this was a tough one, man. And I get it, it got to be tough. It got to be tough. But that was a phenomenal way. You're absolutely right. I mean, it's the thing that holds up the ice cream. And for me, I just kept thinking, I'm like, I don't know if I'm just hungry, but I'm thinking sugar cone, waffle cone. What's that third cone? I couldn't remember the name of it. And then I started thinking about getting a sundae on Sunday. And I'm kind of lost trying to get it, but I just wanted to make sure I got that word from you. And then it just kind of hit me, and it just said, you know what? Honestly, simply, the cone is a compliment to the ice cream. As you
Mm.
said, it's the thing that goes along with it, right? Just like the toppings are at the top of it, but the cone complements it from the bottom. It's
Mm.
a complement of the ice cream, so it's a foundational compliment. And for you in this season, right? You want to have things that complement you.
Mm.
Things that complement you, that go with you, right? You can put ice cream on a lot of different things, but I think the primary thing that most kids think about and compliment ice cream the most is going to be a cone. So what's the best compliment for you? Think about that for your vision, for your career. Does your career complement you? Does it complement the totality of your toppings? Does it complement the totality of your skills, your experiences? And maybe you might need to get into another cone, right? Maybe that's what the Lord is doing, is moving you into another cone, another zone, another place. Hey, let's just do it.
Mm.
Another place that will hold you up even higher or take you to the next level. So definitely, that's what I'm thinking when I think of ice cream cone, is the compliment.
Mm.
For me and my brother Rashawn, for example, right, we've always made decisions career-based, not just off of money. A lot of people make their career decisions based off of money and chasing money, right? And there's no fulfillment in that if that's the only thing that you're basing your decisions on. A lot of people make their relationship decisions just off of looks or superficial factors, and you can't find success just doing that, or fulfillment. So making sure that you're making choices and decisions that best complement your life,
Mm.
where you're going, and what you're doing. It reminds me of a conversation I had with my dad. And just so you guys know, anytime I bring up my dad, I will bring up my Mufasa accent. My dad is from Haiti, so I always have to kind of impersonate him. But he told me, he's like, when you get married, make sure your wife know what you do, right? Make sure she compliments you. Make sure she knows what vision you have for your life, so that way y'all can run together. And that just kind of came to me. So compliment. That's what I think of ice cream cone. It compliments ice cream.
Wow. Man, that was good, man. We're
Yeah.
pulling some stuff out of here. I got something else, man. I look at it from another perspective as well. I look at the end of the day, when I went to Jackson's Parlor, what did I want? I wanted ice cream.
Mm.
At the end of the day, I just wanted ice cream. But oftentimes I find myself looking at my brother or my sister's cones in comparison to the cone that I had. Right? It's like I only wanted ice cream. However, I
Yeah.
began to look at it differently once I saw someone else's cone.
Mm.
I'm also reminded of an analogy that was used where a professor had asked his students if they wanted some coffee. And he brought out a coffee and he had an array of an assortment of cups.
Mm.
And so the students began to pick different ones. There were plastic, there were porcelain, there were glass, there were various types of cups. And what he noticed in doing this exercise is that all of the good looking ones were gone first. No one wanted the plastic cups. No one wanted the other types of cups. They wanted the expensive antique looking cups.
Mm.
But all they wanted at the end of the day was coffee. But yet they began to look at everyone else's cup and then begin to judge their cup. Did the cup make the coffee any better? It didn't. It was just a place that it filled the coffee in. And so I look at ice cream cones. Yeah, ice cream cones are good, but it takes it away. And I took some of my enjoyment out of my ice cream cone when I began to look at my brother or sister or cousin's ice
Mm.
cream cone. And I thought, well, that cone looked better than mine. Or,
Mm.
oh, I didn't know they had the waffle. Why did I get the regular,
Yeah.
like the wheat color? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't know they had different types of cones. Why didn't y'all tell me that I had a chance to choose various types of cones? And I say sometimes what we need is we need, you know, our finances to be able to take care of a house. You know, we need, you know, ability a car to get from A to B. But that's what we essentially need. But then oftentimes we begin to look at the specifics of the type of car, the
Yeah.
specifics of the type of house, the specifics of the type of job in comparison what we have. And all the while, all I wanted was just some ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
So in this season, is that whatever it is that you're being provided, the necessities of life, yes, you want to enjoy those things that's been given, but don't start looking at everyone else's cone and begin
Mm-hmm.
to compare as if it changes the ice cream.
Yeah.
The ice cream is still going to melt.
Mhm.
The ice cream is still the same flavor, but it's just housed in a different vessel.
Yeah.
So the same God, but just in a different vessel. Some
Yeah.
ice cream cones are bigger than others,
Mm-hmm.
meaning I'm able to receive more than the next person. But it's no comparison. It's just what I'm able to get,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
I just took it to another level. I'm not sure if that's, you know, just something that I just the spirit dropped heavy in me, with just understanding that we all ask to be filled, but my capacity to be fulfilled may be a little different than yours. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm able to acquire a little more,
Yeah.
hold a little more.
Yeah, yeah, and you know what? And I just to kind of cap it off, when you said to, you know, it made you lose focus off the ice cream because you started focusing more on the cone and the different types of cone, and it made me think about, is it Delirious with Eddie Murphy, his stand-up comedy show way back in the day? If you've watched this, you know what I mean. And there's this skit that he does where he talks about kids getting ice cream and running after the ice cream. So they get the ice cream, and you got your ice cream cone. He just talks about how kids would respond and react when they got ice cream. And then when they would see someone else that didn't have ice cream, and they'll start to sing, I got some ice cream. I got some ice cream. You didn't get none because your parents on the welfare. I mean, it's hilarious, right? You got to go and watch it. I ain't going to do the whole bit for you. But at the end of the bit, the kid drops the ice cream. He still holds on to the cone, but he drops the ice cream, right? Are you still holding on to the persona, the what looks like something? But if there's no ice cream in it, if you're not filled with something, are you still holding on to? I mean, how silly would the kid look with just sitting there with a cone because he was so focused on bragging and showing what he had and what someone else didn't have that he actually dropped the substance of what he went for, and he was left with just a cone, a cone without ice cream. It's not an ice cream cone. It is just a cone. But that's the thing. Just don't focus too much on that. It just kind of reminded me of that, so I wanted to plug that in there. Be humble. Be content. You know, not compare yourself with others, as my brother said. And at the same time, be humble. If you're blessed, then be a blessing. You know, be humble with what you're given. And it's not time to show off, because you never know when you might drop your ice cream.
Come on now. I love that. Great example. Way to bring it all around here.
We gotta get to the bonus round.
Bonus round. You ready for that bonus round?
We do. We got to get to that bonus round. Now let me lead us into that. The bonus round is around a word that is given to us by our audience, so that we did see this word earlier. We haven't had the time to process on it. If you wanted to include another one, you could, but we can go based off of the word that you gave us the first time, and we're just going to put it on the screen, and it is predestination. Bonus round's going to go fast, y'all, so you just got to catch with it. Predestination. Instantly I think about a GPS. Why the GPS? Because the GPS, you have to put your destination in. And what the GPS does is it goes and it captures that destination, and then it tracks itself back to you so that you know which way is the best way to go, and you have different options. So with a predestination, a place that you have already established that you want to travel to or go to in life, it's just key that you lock in on where that place is. If you go into your GPS and you just put, I'm going to Orlando, Florida, it's going to ping Orlando, Florida. It'll give you a time frame of when you get there. But once you get into the city limits of Orlando, Florida, it doesn't know where else you want to go. you're still on I-4, you're still on the highway. It's not bringing you to a specific destination. So with the predestination, you, of course, want to be as specific as possible, use your vision, and then allow time and allow the ability and the flexibility for recalculations, right? Of course, with the GPS. So I think that there's a couple of things. There's a group of us that we don't really put a specific place where we want to go to. And then there's a group of us that we put that place and we don't change it no matter what's happening in life. And I think both of those are dangerous places to be. So you want to have a set goal, but you want to have the flexibility to move, because God is a God of change and he moves. But don't worry, because all things work out for the good of them that love the Lord. Predestination.
Wow. Nice. Predestination. I think of predestination, I look at it in two words. I look at destination, that's where you want to go, but then pre, which is the suffix which indicates something before. Anytime you see the word pre, you're dealing with something that's before, right? It happened before. And so even though I look at the both words together, pre and destination is a place you've been before.
Mm.
Have you seen this place that you want to go before you've actually gotten there? I look at predestination as that place that you've envisioned yourself being, that job that you've already seen yourself there, that house you've already seen yourself purchase, that vehicle that you've already seen it. Predestination is I've been here before. So when you get there, it's not new because you've been there before. I remember vividly in my career as a sales rep and wanting to become a sales supervisor, but I had seen myself there all the time. And so when the opportunity presented itself, I walked in that thing boldly because I saw myself, I was already there. It was predestined for me to be there because that destination that was already set, and I've seen myself arrive there countless times. So when we talk about predestination, even though we're taking it from a different direction than what is commonly used as, is have you been there before? Those things that you have on your bucket list, those things that you've written down that you want to accomplish, have you been there before? You have to go there first. And once you go there over and over again, it's funny how things come back full circle. It's funny how those things that JD and I talked about years ago is coming around full circle because we saw ourselves doing this very thing. We saw ourselves countless times speaking in front of hundreds of people. We've been there before. We've been there before. And so we just pray that this whole entire time that you guys have shared with us, that you understand that circle that you have, that you keep your circle close. You understand those things and the people who are around you, that you're constantly moving. Your focus, your eye is on the prize. And also understanding too, you want to be wise like an owl. You want to make sure that you're focused on some things and you're looking and turning away from things you don't need to. And then understanding you have to pray. The hour at night prays. He prays. And for you, for any man who lacks wisdom, let him ask of the Father. So you pray for that thing. You pray for that thing. And then when God blesses you and gives you that double scoop, that double portion, that ice cream, that cone that he fills you up, when he continues to add on top and layers to that thing, you're thankful. You don't look around and you boast or brag about your ice cream cone and about what you have, because at any moment, God can allow that ice cream to fall. And what is good for an ice cream cone without the ice cream? What is for a man to profit the whole world
but lose his own? I mean, so yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, that has been wordplay. Wow.
Wordplay, right? And that is our first episode. Tell us what you think, right? Tell us what you think. Leave the comments. We'll be looking at the comments all week. Also, tune in. Go ahead and like the page, so that way when we go online, if you forget for Sunday mornings, you can click on this. If you're not into church, but you'd like to discuss topics and things of that nature, join us, man. We're just going to share these words. It's always going to be random. And look out for us for Wednesday Word of the Day. We'll send out a post with Wednesday's Word of the Day. Share that with some friends. We appreciate y'all joining, commenting, and the comments that we predestined to see. But love it, man. Brother, hot stuff, man. Good stuff, man.
Absolutely, man. Great job. So until we meet again, guys, take care. God bless.
God bless.
See you next time.
Love.